Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and these are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. A multi-million-dollar Coke bust. Racinos approved by the V.I.H.A Senate. And it's business as usual for the St. Croix Central High School students. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, federal investigators have captured a sailboat just east of the BVI's. News Channel 8's Lee Carl files this report.
This is the area of the independent boatyard out in the Bolongo Bay area here, and the feds found $5 million worth of cocaine on a sailboat captured east of the BVI. Now, the United States Attorney's Office in their release said investigators found approximately 250 kilos of cocaine with an estimated street value of $5 million aboard a 54-foot sailboat, the Laurel, according to a statement released by the U.S. Attorney's Office. 2 people now have been arrested in connection with a drug bust, and we obtained the name from the U.S. Attorney's Office. Undel Benoit, he's from St. Vincent, and Carlisle Williams of Grenada, charged with possession with intent to distribute cocaine. Here is the rest of the story. The Coast Guard, along with the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration, U.S. Customs, searched the boat for hours Tuesday in full view of the public at the independent boatyard. Despite the highly public setting, residents in questions and concerns, agencies refused for about 2 days to answer questions because they said it might mess up the investigation. But on Thursday, Attorney Ronald Sharp's office, U.S. Attorney's Office, said the Laurel was seized in international waters east of the British Virgin Islands while sailing north from Grenada. High-intensity drug task force had put out an alert, a Dolphin helicopter, a fixed-wing Dash 8 aircraft from the Coast Guard. The boat was intercepted by the Coast Guard cutter Reef Shark and another Coast Guard cutter, the Farallon, towed it to St. Thomas. DEA Customs Border Patrol declined to answer questions why the Laurel was being suspected of carrying drugs. But in the news release, Sharp said the illicit trafficking of cocaine and the violence associated with the distribution sale threatens the safety of every person in the Virgin Islands. The Laurel, by the way, is registered in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with the number FL9070GG, but according to the Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicle, Orion Yacht Charters registered the boat under that number in 2009. But interestingly enough, the website for the company, called Orion Yacht Charters, advertises crude yachts and bareboat charters and lists a Daytona, Florida address, but, and here's the key, a Virgin Islands cell phone number. The company's owners say they never owned the 54-foot sailboat. We don't own any boats, as a matter of fact. We charter them, so said Sanda Zuran, one of the company's owners, and we just do charters in other people's boats. Of course, the question remains, these 2 persons, Andel Benoit of St. Vincent and Carlisle Williams of Grenada, are just crew members. The feds now want to find out who the big cheeses are. By the way, thanks Constance Cooper and The Source for these marvelous pictures of the bust that was taking place. In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Lee Carl. And in other news, Racinos are now a part of the Virgin Islands. This controversial bill was passed finally late last night, with other measures being decided on as well. Senator Nellie O'Reilly talked on the phone with Wes Small just a little while ago about these bills.
On the line with us now is Senator Nellie O'Reilly, and she's going to comment about the VI legislature and the late night vote last night that allows casino gambling machines at the territory's horse racing tracks, known as racinos. All right, Senator O'Reilly, thanks for spending time with us this evening. Please tell us about that bill that was passed and about the smoking bill that went back to the governor and other measures as well.
Sure, thank you, Wes. Well, we had a long 2 days of session, as you know, and we ended late last night. And of course, the Racino bill was one of the measures that was voted on yesterday, including the smoking ban. I voted in favor of the smoke-free bill. I think it's an important measure, particularly because it addresses health issues in our territory. And I did not vote in favor of the Racino bill. I placed some of my concerns on the record yesterday. Primarily I have been trending crime rates and other issues in the community, in particular the increase in divorce rates and domestic violence, as well as the increase in burglaries, grand larceny and all of that. And I know it's clear that the introduction of casino in St. Croix has not really resulted in the results that everyone expected. We have not seen an increase in airline lifts to the island, and we have not seen an increase in hotel occupancy either. So I didn't feel that expanding the access to gambling was the right thing to do.
Thanks, Senator Nellie O'Reilly. And we also talked to the director of the Internal Revenue Bureau once again, one day after our tax deadline. Today's focus is on payment installment plans for people who owe money to the IRB.
When you and I talked, I said that the taxpayer should wait until there's an assessment of what taxes they owe after they have filed their forms. I misspoke. One of my employees was able to tell me that there's actually a request that the taxpayer can initiate to say, I owe money and I need an installment agreement. And that is Form 9465, where the taxpayer is owning up to the point that they are owed some taxes and they would like to make an agreement pre-assessment so they can tell us how much they can afford to pay at any given point, and we can work from that. It's a request for an installment agreement where the taxpayer is coming to us rather than us having to chase after the taxpayer.
Well, the V.I. Housing Finance Authority are making it easier to own your own home on St. John. Let's take a look.
The Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority is inviting residents of St. John specifically and for St. Thomas to come out to an open house for our newly constructed Calabash Boom townhomes. These townhomes are 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, and it's our first home ownership subdivision on the island of St. John. We have a number of programs, mortgage programs, grants, subsidies available to help homeowners or potential homeowners get into that home. And we really encouraging the St. John residents to come out and see these beautiful townhomes, because we know once you see them, you'll fall in love with them. And our staff will be on hand to work you through the process and provide you with a lot of information. So we don't want you to disqualify yourself. Please come in so we can pre-qualify you. That's tomorrow, April 17th from 10 to 4 p.m., Calabash Boom, St. John. We'll also have lenders and other financial institutions available to talk to you about their mortgage programs and how we can get you into your first home. It's tomorrow, April 17th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Calabash Boom, St. John.
That's good news for folks on St. John. And don't forget to check out Villa Lorraine's Chicken Shack on Sunday at 10 a.m. And it's going to go until all the food sold on that day will go to the Virgin Islands Police Department to raise funds for Police Week. And when we come back from this break, the busy students at Central High School. Stay with us.